The Egypt-Atlantis connection. The connection between Egypt and Atlantis is primarily based on interpretations of the dialogues of Plato, the ancient Greek philosopher who is our primary source of information about Atlantis. It's important to note, however, that there's no historical consensus supporting the existence of Atlantis, and much of what is discussed is speculative. Plato wrote about Atlantis in his dialogues Timaeus and Critias. According to him, Atlantis was a powerful and advanced kingdom that existed about 9,000 years before his own time, which would place it approximately 11,000 years before the present, and that it was located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, interpreted as the modern Strait of Gibraltar. In these dialogues, the wisdom of Atlantis was said to have been passed to the Egyptians. The story of Atlantis was relayed to Solon, an Athenian statesman and poet, during his visit to Egypt, by Egyptian priests. They described Atlantis as a civilization superior in many ways, not just to Athens, but to Egypt as well. The Egypt-Atlantis connection is, therefore, primarily about the transmission of knowledge. According to the dialogues, Atlantis was a highly sophisticated society, with advanced knowledge of agriculture, architecture, and warfare, and this knowledge was passed on to ancient Egypt. There are theories, often associated with pseudo-history and fringe science, which suggest that the civilization of ancient Egypt was in some way descended from Atlantis, or that the architectural and cultural achievements of ancient Egypt, including the construction of the pyramids, were only possible with knowledge inherited from Atlantis. Some even propose that Egypt itself was a colony of Atlantis. However, it's important to note that these ideas are not accepted by mainstream historians or archaeologists. There's no archaeological or historical evidence that Atlantis ever existed, let alone that it had any connection with ancient Egypt. Egypt's achievements are well documented and are the result of a complex, evolving civilization that existed for thousands of years. The idea of an Egypt-Atlantis connection, while fascinating and thought-provoking, should be approached critically and understood within the context of its source, primarily Plato's philosophical narratives. As of my knowledge cutoff in September 2021, there has not been any tangible evidence or widely accepted historical study that definitively links ancient Egypt and the supposed civilization of Atlantis.